Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus with another video review. And today, continue on with my 2016 Botcon reviews. We're going to be taking a look at the fourth souvenir set, that being the Deluxe Class AIRAZOR. Now, AIRAZOR here was a repaint of the Transformers Legends Slipstream. So what you basically get is a new head that figure already had, but was only available in the Transformers Legends line, which was like a Japanese-only exclusive. So technically, this is the first time we've gotten this head mold here in the United States. So getting this this bag, opened up, just ripping that like that, and pulling out pull it out like it's actually wanting to come out. There we go. Then get that out of the way, and you do get the instructions as well as the tech spec card. It is a little rounded. That's normal. Kind of flatten that out. This isn't a combiner, so you can't really combine this with anything, but you got the instructions here on the back, and then like I said, you get her tech specs, you got her bio, and then a really cool updated image here. And I just in general think that this mold looks pretty good for AIRAZOR. I mean, as a flying character, it just kind of works. And then you come around here and you have the little baggie with the tape. Open that up. Get that. I am not doing very well with this whole opening of things today, so get that out of here. You got her little weapons. We're gonna have to fiddle with this a little bit, kind of get it positioned the way that it should, but let me get that all situated, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look in more detail at AIRAZOR here in her jet mode. Alright, so here she is all put back together and assembled properly as best as I can get her. Now, again, as I talked about, this is a just repaint of that Slipstream mold, which in of itself was just a repaint of a Windblade with a new head. So that's why I keep saying Slipstream. You also do get the new weapons that Slipstream came with, instead of that big sword thing that Windblade came with. And I mean, the mold is what it is. It's not a lot of people's favorite, but I think that it works for this character pretty decently. Mostly in the fact that obviously it's a female character, so the body type is a lot more feminine. And then you have the wings that are on the back that kind of look like the wings that AIRAZOR had. So, I mean, it kind of works. You can see you got the little landing gear down there. You got the landing gear there. Like I said, you got the weapons that can be attached this way, or you can flip them around. Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me which way I put them. You do have the same gimmick here with the little propellers. This is a VTOL aircraft, so it can go, and then it can bend like this, and bend like this, and then it can fly forward. It's also got the thrusters on the back, and you can see that this rotates in and out. And then these also, it's hard to get to. I'll pull out, let me use this. You can actually spin these on the inside as well. So there's some that functionality that still was with the previous toys. But I mean, in general, like I said, it looks pretty good. Now, the one thing that is interesting is this was the second least produced figure. I'm sorry, I just double-checked it. This was the least produced one. They only made 750 of her. Megatron was the next most rarest of the production line at only 850. Megatron sold out first, AIRAZOR followed shortly thereafter. So unfortunately, if this is a figure that you want to pick up, that is not going to be possible for the near future as far as I know. You're going to have to go through secondary markets to be able to get it. But jet mode wise though, it is what it is. I mean, if you like the mold, you like the mold. If you don't like the mold, you're not going to like this really much either. But the transformation is exactly the same, so we are going to go ahead and skip it. If you need any help, as always, my playlist is available to you. So just check that out, find her, and get any help that you may need. But that being said, we'll be right back, and we'll take a look at AIRAZOR in her robot mode. And honestly, when it comes down to it, I can definitely see why they decided to produce this in the fewest quantities. I mean, it's not bad. The problem is it just suffers from the way that the actual figure is. I mean, it still has the problem with very unstable heels. You really have to position things very carefully to get her to stand. But they did good on what they possibly could, and that's basically the painting on it. In terms of the coloring and everything like that, it looks absolutely terrific. I mean, it without question has a very nice AIRAZOR kind of look to it, and, you know, it feels like AIRAZOR. It's just the mold itself does kind of suffer. I mean, these are very kind of flimsy to actually balance on. Not flimsy in terms of the tightness. I mean, these are actually a lot tighter than even the original one. I mean, this is not flopping down at all. But the just overall problem of trying to position her and getting her to balance on a surface is definitely a task to do. Now, again, granted, my surface here is a little bit more curved, so it does kind of present some challenges, but honestly, I never have this difficult of a time getting something to stand on this table area, so it is something that, you know, is kind of unfortunate, but the overall look of the figure is really very nice. Now, like I said, you do get that new head that the Slipstream figure came with, which does look really good. You get these new weapons on here that, much like that Slipstream figure, get that off there, they just kind of slot up here, and then you got this little tab section here that you just bring over, and it locks into the upper part of the forearm section, so you get those little kind of null ray-esque kind of guns on there. But I do really like the way that, you know, she turned out and what they did with the paint on here. I really love what they did here with these little wavy lines and everything. I mean, very, very cool. I mean, the paint job is definitely top-notch on this. Got some nice silver on the guns. You got some nice silver down here on her shins. I mean, they put a lot of attention to the detail on here. They're just limited in what the figure actually is itself. So that's kind of the unfortunate aspect of it. Now, like I said, is this a bad figure? I don't think it is. It is a good looking figure. If you can get her to stand pretty decently, she will display nicely. One thing also, I'm kind of looking around here. Does she even have, I don't see a Maximal logo anywhere on here. Hey Pete, why is there not a Maximal logo on here? As if he watches my videos on a regular basis. But yeah, I don't see any Maximal logos on here. Interesting. I wonder if she's a Maximal. Let's look on here. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess nothing on the actual instructions say that she's a Maximal. She doesn't, or it doesn't specifically say that she is one, but that's kind of interesting. And I didn't read the comic, so I don't necessarily know the story behind it, but it's kind of weird that they don't have any kind of faction on here. Now, for her articulation, it is the exact same. You got the little head joint here, which is really stiff on this one, so you get a decent range of motion there. The shoulders move in and out on ball joints. They also rotate at the very upper part of the bicep, so you get a nice range of motion there. You get a hinge here for the actual elbow. You got a swivel here for the wrists. The waist does rotate around. That's part of the transformation. The hips here are on ball joints, and then right up here at the upper part of the actual thigh, you got a swivel as well. And then you got a hinge here for the knee. Does she have ankle articulation? I guess that depends on what you consider ankle articulation. She's got a back heel that can articulate. But all in all, I mean, it is a good-looking figure. I think they did the best with it that they possibly could. I don't think that, you know, blaming FunPub for it is a you know, very valid complaint, because it's just the way that the mold is. So, like I was saying, if you like the mold, if you like the look of it, you're probably not going to have a problem with the figure. But if you don't like the way that mold is, you probably are going to have issues with this. And like I said, just in general, I mean, just standing there, it looks pretty good. But you got to be able to get her there. Now, unfortunately, like I said, she was one of the 2 figures that actually did sell out at the actual convention. So, unfortunately, there's no real way that you can get a hold of this unless you go to, you know, a third-party vendor or something like that, like eBay or something of that nature, I guess. But, again, you know, one thing that was really cool about this year's Botcon was they packaged all of these separately. So if you didn't want to get this figure, you weren't forced to get her. She wasn't put with a figure that you might really want to have, forcing you to get one that you don't really want. So that was pretty cool of Botcon to do. But beyond that, that's about it for her. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look at the 2016 Botcon AIRAZOR. So other than that, once again, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget to please like and comment, and be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you never miss a future review. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. You're at your best when the going gets rough.